H, coche. Bendiciones. Bendiciones. Bendiciones a todas las personas que se están conectando. This is going to be an English live. So anybody that wants to be in the English live, you're more than welcome to be here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much so. I am working on Centro de Estudios Lugumi. And bendiciones para todas las personas. I am going to be doing, voy a hacer la directa en inglés. Vamos a hablar en inglés hoy para nuestros seguidores de inglés. Bendiciones. Blessings to everybody that is connecting. We are going to do a live in English today. I'm going to be doing a lot of lives in English. I'm going to be talking a lot about, well, today I'm going to be talking about the importance of the preparations for a spiritual mass. It is very important that we prepare ourselves as well as our house when we're going to do a spiritual mass. And I'm going to tell you the steps of this that you should be doing and what I do in my house whenever we're going to have a spiritual mass, which is very often. So I want for you guys to please go ahead and please share the live. That way we can have some people connected. I'm going to finish setting up Centro de Estudios Lukumi so that they can connect also in English. And then we are going to go and we're going to start talking about that. Because we need to understand the importance of doing a spiritual mass. A lot of people, they just tell them, you need to do a spiritual mass. But yet, doing a spiritual mass is not just sitting on a table, putting your 7 or 9 cups together and bring somebody who is a spiritual person that's going to come to your house and perform the mass for you, because most of us do not know, or most of us do not have a spirit that comes through us, so we think that it's better to bring someone over so that their spirit can come and tell us and talk about it. So let me finish doing this on Facebook as I get everything together, and we go from there. So that is the part that I want for you guys to understand. How to prepare your house for a spiritual mass. As I have always said, for us, I just finished setting up Centro de Estudios Lukumi. Thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate it. Okay, so thank you. Thank you so much, my love. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing my life. I appreciate it. Everybody, please, if you can, share my life. I am on Centro de Estudios Lukumi. I am on on YouTube. Those are the only 2 places that I'm in. I am not on TikTok or anywhere else, because I do think that it is important, for us to understand the importance of the preparation of, how you prepare yourself as well as your house for this very important ceremony that you're going to be doing in your house. I believe that this is like one of the most important ceremonies that you can do in your house, because this has to do with your spirits. This has to do with the energies of the house. This has to do with a lot. And it's important when we're going to call somebody to come over to our house, it's important that we know, about this person. It's important that we know how good the person is at what they claim that they are good at, because anybody can say that I am the best. Anybody can say that I have the best. Anybody can say, yes, I am the best. But that may not necessarily be true. Why? Because just because I think I am, it may not be necessarily correct. So there's a lot of ways preparing um, preparing our house for a spiritual mass. You may have your own ways of doing it. You may have done this for many years. Your godparents may have told you do this. You may have dreamed of one of your spirits telling you, "Hi, Shadow Wolves, blessings," telling you you should do this, and you may go to your elders, and your elders may say, "Hey, do this to when you're going to go ahead and do a spiritual mass." You may have picked up the book of Spiritism from David, and there it tells you how to prepare your house for a spiritual mass. Then you may be in the schools of David, which are the school of Spiritism. And in that school of Spiritism, you've gone through the part where David teaches you how to prepare the house for your spiritual mass. Now, you don't only prepare your house for that, but you also have to prepare yourself and whoever is going to be in your mass, in your house. You have to prepare for everything. Why? Because if you're going to bring somebody over, it's going to be because you want to resolve an issue. You want to resolve a problem. And that is the reason why you're doing, thank you, Shadow of Wolves. I appreciate that very much. We're going to be doing a lot of lives in English, especially in this channel, and on Centro de Estudios Lukumi Facebook. So if you guys want to share back and forth, that's amazing. And I appreciate that very much. The reasons why most people do spiritual masses is one, either because they need to know who they have, what spirits they have, and which ones guide you in your world, in your spiritual world. You want to know who who's the guide of your labor when you're going to work in the misas. You want to know who your guiding spirit is. You want to know who are your spirits and the name of those spirits. That is the part that most people want to do a spiritual mass for that. Some people do a spiritual mass because they supposedly have a dark spirit in their home and they want to make sure that they get rid of it. And the way to do it is to bring in somebody that has experience in that field and removing this type of entities from your house or energies, and they come and they do it for you. The other reason is because you were told to by either reading, consultation, or by somebody that says, hey, do a spiritual mass in your house. It is very important. I'm the type of person that I like to do spiritual masses in my house. So to me, it's very important that I read all of my preparations. I put them down as to what I like to do before all of my whatever I'm going to do as a spiritual mass. Not only do I have to do it for the household, for the people that live in my house, but I also do it for the house itself. So the important part for me is that I like to clean my house completely. Now, there's various ways of cleaning your house. There's a lot of things out there that people use to cleaning their houses. A lot of people use incense. A lot of people use sage. A lot of people use the burners, and they use all types of incenses, and they go around the house and they clean and they put it on top of their spiritual vault, and that is how they clean their house. Mind you, there is a lot of ways of cleaning the house before, so that those energies are in the way that they're supposed to be leveled, so that when you start your mass, you're going to get to see what the problem is, and the person that you're bringing into your home is allowed to see what the issue is, so that they can help you, because that is the reason why you're doing, most of the times, that is the reason why you're doing your spiritual mass. So in order for you to clean the house, there's a lot of ways for you to clean your house. You have to figure out, depending on what are you feeling in your house, what kind of energy are you feeling in the house. If you're feeling a kind of a negative energy, but it's a very powerful negative energy, there's ways of going from a light cleaning to just keeping everything in sync with everybody in the house, and everything is okay, to where, okay, something doesn't feel right, but it isn't bad to the point where, okay, something is happening, oh my God. Then when you get to the point where you see that you're looking around and you're like, what is going on? I feel something that is not normal in my house. I feel people in my house that are just not normal. The energies that I feel in my house are just not normal. So when you have those types of feelings, and there's different ways of doing cleanings, there's different ways of you doing of preparations for your spiritual mass, which is important. It's important which one you use, because that is going to help you. That is going to help you with the part of the energy that the person that you're bringing in to do this mass, that's going to help you. And that's the part that's important. In my house, I like to prepare everybody in the house. I clean everybody in the house. We usually take showers, flowers, white flowers, perfume, cascarilla. We do that for at least 3 days. It's nice, and it's a cleansing bath that you can take that is going to help you a lot. I love those kinds of showers because they do help you to cleanse and to feel really good. Yes, thank you, mi amor. I appreciate that very much. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that we can do in order to help us when it comes down to the spiritual world, and to be able for us to be to have a peaceful ambience in your house, which is what I love. When people come to my house, they're like, oh my God, your house is so peaceful, it's so quiet. And it's because I work very hard, and so does David, at keeping our house the most peaceful, and the most serenity that you have available in you is what you're going to have. Because we get a lot of people that come to our house, and a lot of people come with, not that they come negative because they come with something negative because that's what they want to come with, but they have behind them, they have something that unfortunately they don't even know how to deal with, and they don't know how to take care of. So they're coming to David or to take care of that problem. So they come with all of this to our house, and yet we have a house that has a lot of walls where there's a lot of things that are just not going to penetrate our spiritual world or our house. But it is something that can definitely come in, and they can definitely put a strain on with the person that's coming, and it's going to cause an issue here or there. So we make sure that whoever comes to our house, that is the importance of you. When you're going to go ahead and do something like this, well, reactions are able. Okay, something weird just happened on Facebook. I'm so sorry. So it's important that when we do prepare ourselves for these spiritual masses and preparing our house, that you know exactly what to do and for which mass are you preparing yourself for. If you're just doing a spiritual mass because you just want to do something nice for the spirits, it's great. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't feel any negative energy. You just want to do a mass because you just want to do it for your spirits. Amazing. Then we cleanse the house, we clean ourselves, and those are perfect. You want to clean your house with sage, or you want to clean your house with myrrh, you want to clean yourself with any kind of incense that you have at home. We have here in the Botanical Orisha, we have a lot. We have a lot of incense because they're all for different purposes, and they're all for different things that you want to use. Also, David prepares for us, and we sell here also the omiero, which is all of the 21 herbs by each of the orishas. And those herbs are prepared, they're prayed, they're sang, and they are in perfect harmony so that we can go ahead and use them for whatever it is that we need. So I do like to take those showers also at least twice, 3 times a month. I do those showers for everybody at the house because it does help to cleanse us and get rid of whatever negativity. Because remember, the spiritual world is something so vast. It has so many doors to it that there's not an exact science of what exactly works for everybody, because everybody has different spirits. Their spirits work in different ways. And you just have to, if you just want to learn how to get in contact with your spirits, if you want to learn how to take care of your spirits in your spiritual vault, in your white table, as they call it, all of those things, you guys David has a class, and these classes are also offered in English. We have a live translator that translates all of the schools for David. There's a total of 5 schools, and we do have the Spiritism school, we have the Aggayu school, we have the Enkisimalongo school, we have the Osha room, and we have the shells. All of those are available to you in English. As David is speaking live, you are able to see it. And if you're not able to participate in the schools at any given moment in time, you can always come back and download them from Zoom and save them into your phone or your computer, and you can listen to them whenever you like and save them for future reference. And you also receive a PDF in English that you can download from the library, and you don't have to be all the time, being inside. And if you're working and you're driving or something, is the time difference because you're in a different time zone, it doesn't matter. There's no excuse for not to learn how to take care of this. And this is important, you guys, because once you do that, there's so many things that you can do. And there's so many things that if you do wrong, when it comes down to you doing a spiritual mass, you can flip the energies in your home. You can flip the energies of the stuff that you're trying to do something for good, and unfortunately you didn't know how to use it. And sometimes I feel like if you're opening Pandora's box, you're trying to do something good, but you know how sometimes you try to do something good and something bad happens. Unfortunately, no good deed goes undone. I believe that's how it's said. It goes unpunished, because sometimes we have to know what we're doing. And now, thanks to technology, thanks to everything, we have a lot of ways of finding out things. Okay, and you have a lot of people that have knowledge on how to do things, and they are going to help you. And there's a lot of things that you can do. You can get a reading. You can get books. There's a lot of books out there about this. The one that I guide myself with is this one. We have it in English and we have it in Spanish, because to me, if we don't start off the right way, we can't proceed. If you start out if you don't start in a straight line, you're not going to get anywhere. If you start going to the left, we have a problem, because then you're going to have to eventually come back into your right path. If you go right, then you're out of the line. You're not supposed to be there. There's something that's going to happen for you to come back into line, because you have to follow the correct way of doing things. You have to do things, especially when it comes down to your spiritual world and your spiritual house and your masses. You have to. Why? Because if you do something incorrectly when it comes down to the spiritual world, if you're paying somebody to come in and take out a negative energy from your house, nothing is going to happen. It's only going to get worse. And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I paid this person to come to my house to do a spiritual mass, and guess what? Nothing has happened. It still feels the same. What is this? All of the things that I was told, everything that he said he was going to do, or she, and in the long run, nothing happened. And we're still in the same, we're still in the same place. The website, Shadow of Wolves, the website for the classes is www.davidalaggayu.com, and right there you choose schools, and you can choose any of the 5 schools that we have. And then what we'll do is we'll put you into a WhatsApp group, depending on the school that you purchase, and we'll send you the itinerary as to when the schools are going to happen, which school happen which day, how many hours the classes are. And we'll send you all of the class rules, and we will send you all of the information that you need in order to go ahead and you have knowledge on what to do. And then when you sign up to the classes automatically and you go into the Zoom classes, you're going to hear David speaking. You're going to see David speaking, but you're going to hear the interpreter in English saying what he needs to say. All of those classes are saved into a Zoom. They are deleted at the end of the month, so you have until the last day of the month to download them and save them into your computer or into your phone. The same thing for the PDFs. So it's important, you guys, because we have a lot of information that you guys, thank you, Shadow, I appreciate you. We do have a lot of information. We do have a lot of things, but not all of the information and not all of the things that are being said out there are correct. And that's where the problem comes in. The spiritual world is, like I said, has a lot of doors. And a lot of people may think, because some people are like, okay, you're only supposed to wear white when you do your spiritual mass. Okay, I understand that you want me to wear white. It is supposed to be white. I agree with you 100%. But sometimes somebody wants to wear a blue skirt because their spirit, the spirits are the ones that you have. They say, I want you to wear a blue skirt when you do masses. Now, is that wrong? Of course it's not wrong, because you have one of your guiding spirits telling you that whenever you do a spiritual mass, that she wants for you to wear a white top, but she wants you to wear a blue skirt. And there's nothing wrong with that at all whatsoever. Now, to some people, you're only supposed to wear white. Everything's supposed to be white. Everything is white, white, white. But again, it depends on what you, and now, who is the person that told you? That's the thing that we also have to understand, you guys. That when you have a spiritual mass, you're going to be told by the person that's coming to your house. They're going to tell you a lot of things. A lot of things that you might know and a lot of things that you might not know. I always tell everybody, you write down everything. And every time that I do a mass in my house, I write everything that's said. Even if it's said by Weso, even if it's said by whoever we bring to our house, it doesn't matter. I always write everything down because I like to go back. And I like to make sure and scratch off everything that I was told to do. Once I ask if it's okay to get done, if it wasn't by Weso, then I always ask. Why do I always ask? Because, you guys, we have a lot of people that come into our house that most of the times we don't know these people, because we say, I want to bring somebody to my house, but somebody that doesn't know anything about me. Okay, I understand that. I agree. But honestly, are you going to bring somebody that's going to know the problem that you're going through? Does the world know about your problems that you're going through and the things that you're going through? You want somebody to come in and tell you. Some people are just, I am the kind of person that I like to bring somebody that's going to come through and that I know for a fact that the person is a good spiritism. If the person doesn't have a good spirit and that the person does not know what they're doing, then we have a problem. But you really won't know that until you don't try the person. So sometimes we're going to have hit and misses. That's why I said you write everything down, and sometimes you're told something and you're like, wait, but I have been told something else. I was told the spirit was like this. I was told the spirit's name was this. I was told that it was this. So that's the reason why you write everything down. And not necessarily do I take everything into practice of what I am told. If I am told something that has to do with Osha, I will always ask my guardian angel or the Osha that they're telling me. If they're telling me that I need to feed Shango for some reason, I will get my coconuts and I will throw my coconuts to Shango and I will ask him, Shango, I was told this in a spiritual mass. Do you want? Hey, Crisia, bendición. Blessings, my love, to you, to your mom, your family. Hugs and kisses, mi vida. Do you want me to feed you? Okay. If he says yes, then I will proceed to ask what it is that he wants to be fed. Because mind you, they can tell you that, he wants a horse. But that's the reason why we have Obi, which is the reason why we communicate with our orishas through Obi. And that's the reason why we go and we ask Shango, okay, Shango, I was told in the spiritual mass that you wanted me to feed you 4 legs. Would you like me to give you 4 legs? And Shango's going to answer you. He's going to tell you yes or no. If Shango says yes, then you continue. You want your roosters? I do. You want your turtles? I do. And go from there on. Everything that Shango eats is what you have to ask. Okay? And then you go from there. Would you like ita? Because usually when you feed 4 legs, you need ita. Now, is this an ebo feeding or is this for something else? Or an ita? So there's a lot. There's a lot of things to ask once you do have a spiritual mass. It's not just going blindly and doing all of this because somebody came and told you. Because I have had, from personal experience, I have had a reading. And I have been told by Elegua that I needed to feed a specific orisha. Okay. And a specific orisha, let's go ahead and feed this. Which Osha wants to be fed? This one? Okay, perfect. I got everything that the Osha eats. And then, when I was getting ready to feed the orisha, we threw coconut to the orisha, and the orisha said, I don't want to eat that. All the animals were there, everything. And the orisha says, I don't want that. Okay, what do? I was just told by somebody that you wanted to eat, by another orisha who told me to feed you this. But yet, when I asked the orisha that I have ready, prepared, with animals, with everything that we need to do, and I give obi to the orisha, and the orisha tells me, I don't want that. It's not that Elegua was wrong. at all. El Egua wanted me to do this because that's what El Egua said for me to do. But yet, the Orisha that I am feeding has a mouth. The Orisha that I am going to give this food to has the right to say, I wanted it yesterday. That's what I said to El Egua. Yes, but you know what? Today, I don't feel like getting that. I don't want it. Don't give it to me. So you know what? Discard it. So that's where you start to ask, okay, so you don't want to eat your 4 legs? No, I don't. You want to eat your hens? No, I don't. You want to eat your roosters? No, I don't. You ask. And if the Orisha doesn't want anything, ache. That is, honestly, I feel good when the Orishas say that they don't want to eat something, because not always do the Orishas eat 4 eggs. And that's not always a good thing to have to give that to an Orisha. So to me, it was good, but then it left me like, but how is it that El Egua is telling me one thing and then now this Orisha is telling me no? But I was told to do this specifically in a spiritual mass, so that's the reason why. So you always ask, you guys, especially if you have Osha crowned, you have to ask. That's the reason why we have Obi. That's the reason why we have a way to communicate with our Orishas, okay? And that to me is the best, because we can always ask questions any time of the day. We can step into our Osha room and say, hey Obatala, hey Chango, hey Ochun, Yamaya, whatever Orisha you want to ask, here's Obi, talk to me. And then you get an answer for what you need, so you know what, there's no set in stone thing when it comes down to the Orishas. It is set in stone as to what they eat, but they do have the right to tell you, I don't want it right now. It's not what I want. I was thinking about eating it yesterday, but you know what? Today I woke up and I am not in the mood to eat any of that. I'm going to take care of the problem. And what we're going to do is, I want you to do this. Something. An adimu. Would you like an adimu? A lot of people forget that there are adimuses that we can prepare for the Orishas and for egun, and we can prepare for a lot. And there's a lot of people that don't even know how to make one adimu for the Orishas. And I'm like, how can, everybody knows about the cornmeal with okra for Chango. Everybody knows that. That's like before you even enter, religion 101. But there's a lot of other things that Shango likes that is not necessarily that one, so you have to always ask. And when it comes down to the spiritual world, you guys, is the preparation of the house. Let me get back to my subject, to which is the one that I started the live with. You have to prepare your house, cleaning your house from back to the front. There's a lot of ways. I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips on a lot of things that I do that has helped me, that work in my house. Now, these are bosses that can work for everybody, because this is not just set in stone for my house. This is a bosses that David has given out on social media, that they are in his book, El Secreto de Hacer Ebo, the blue cover that has the world in the front, The Secret of Doing a Bo. That book is going to be coming out in English in about a month. And you guys can get any of these books in www.davidalaggayu.com. Thank you, Janet. Bendiciones to everybody. Blessings to all of you guys that are here. Thank you so much for listening to me in my English live. This is my first English live that I'm doing with you guys. So there's a lot of things that you can do. One of the things that you can do to clean your house, and at the same time, this is not just an abode that you can do for a spiritual mass, in preparation of a spiritual mass in your house. You can do this type of things anytime. You get a coconut and you get cascarilla, and you just spread it all over the coconut, and you start from the back room of your house, and you go through each and every corner. People forget closets, people forget bathrooms. You cannot forget closets, and you cannot forget bathrooms. Okay, remember, you guys, that if you guys are like me, I have 17 closets in my house, and they're all full of clothes that belong to me. But when we do these cleanings of the houses, we have to make sure that we clean everything. Every little nook and cranny that we have in the corners of the house, we go in there and we clean it. Why? Because that's where negativity and dark spirits and negative energies and stuff hide. That's one of the things that in the houses where we as religious people live, we cannot have stuff on corners, boxes and boxes of things one on top of each other. We can't have stuff just all over the place. We're supposed to have, you know, a free space to have and for everything to flow correctly. So once you do that, you have your coconut. You already put the cascarilla on it. I put a little bit of perfume on it. And then what I do is I go all the corners of my house on the floor, and I kick it with my foot. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, that is not a coconut that was prepared for any ceremony at all whatsoever, and it's not a spiritual agua of a coconut. It is just a coconut that I am using for my cleaning. Okay, so it's not that we are disrespecting this obi that we're using so that we can get this cleaning done. It's specifically for this. So I get the coconut and I hit it with my feet. Hey, precious, bendiciones, my love. With my foot all the way around. I get in all of the little nooks in the house, in my closets, and all around. Everywhere that I possibly can, I go around and around and around and around. And I take it all the way through my house. And when I am done with all of that, I end up at the front door of my house. And that, I grab my coconut and I slam the coconut in the front door of my house. So to me, that is something that it brings, once I don't know if it's, to me, it's one of the best bosses that you can do. It's like you're picking up, thank you, precious, same to you, my love. You're picking up all of the, whatever you have in your house, and you're just bringing it out into the door. And once you let that coconut go and it cracks into 100 pieces, it's like, oh, wow, it feels good. So it is a very good bowl that you should do before you do your spiritual mass. Van de Leona, I'm sorry, pero el live es en inglés. The live today is only being done in English. I'm sorry for my Spanish speakers in Centro de Estudios Lucumí, but I am doing an English live, and I'm going to be doing English lives only. When you guys see me here, it's going to be me doing English lives only, okay? So I apologize for that. But please, whenever David comes on, I'm going to be doing something in Spanish too, but this one in particular is going to be in English. So thank you, Lorenzo. You're very welcome. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it. What was your question, Johnny? Thank you. If it stays white or dirty. Thank you very much. The coconut normally stays white because I make sure that I get all of the cascarilla all over it really well, and I'm going to spread it all around. So the cascarilla should still be on the coconut when you break it. Now, if it breaks on the inside, I make sure that the coconut is a good coconut too, because sometimes you buy them in the store and they're not you can see that they're moldy and they don't have water. So I make sure that I shake it and I make sure that it has water in the inside, and I look at it and I make sure that it doesn't have any water stains around it, and that the coconut is in perfect condition. That's the part that I look for the most. Once you know that the coconut is in perfect, even though on the inside it can still not be so good. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. I'm going to be doing this as much as I possibly can. Thank you. Sometimes you purchase it on the outside and it looks amazing, and then when you go cut it at home, it's not. Lorenzo, I am addicted to the schools of my professor, David. I belong to 4 of the classes, and he's amazing and extraordinary. Thank you so much, Lorenzo. We appreciate you being here. I appreciate your compliments. We're definitely trying, because there's a lot of things going on that we just want to be able to, give a little bit of help when it comes down to it. So then, you guys, it's important that when you break that coconut, it should still be in the same condition as it would be when you break it normally. So all of that, to me, when you get all of that water all over the place in the front of your house, all of that, it's like peace. You're going to see the difference. It makes a big difference when you do a cleaning like that. So to me, that is one of the ones that I do. Then when I finish doing that one, I pick up all of my coconut pieces, I take them into the trash, then I come back inside of the house, and then I'm going to do the incense. I get my incense burner, I get my charcoals, And then I get, depends on which one. Believe me, precious, you're not the only one. The coconuts are very hard to open sometimes, and for us to take out the mass from the inside is really hard. But it takes time and patience. That's the only thing that I can tell you, because there's really not a trick to doing that. So it depends on for me, when I do it, it depends on my mood, which incense am I gonna get. If it's like on Thursdays, I like to do my myrrh. I like to do a little bit of sage first. I use sage first, and I clean my whole house with sage. And then I do myrrh, and then I put a little bit of cinnamon, because this is just a regular little lebo that I'm doing for me in my house. So I'm doing that, and it's perfect. I put a little bit of cinnamon, and then I spread it. I do the same thing as I did with the coconut, because you guys, it's not just lighting your incense burner and leaving it there, and then you just let it go. No. If you're gonna do a cleaning, Pearl, blessings to you and all. I came across this as I have just moved. With that said, is this a general cleansing, or is it only for spiritual mass prep? I do it all the time, Pearl. Honestly, it's not just something that you can do just particularly for this. It's a cleaning that you can do at any time. I do it in my house. It's one of the things that I like to do before my spiritual masses, but it's an abode that you can do at any time. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be done for a spiritual mass. So if you want to do this, grab a coconut this weekend and you want to go ahead and clean your house with that, do so, because it's something that you can do at any time. There are abboses that you can only do for certain things, but this, I'm giving you guys little things that you can do, that I do at home, that don't require a reading, that don't require a lot of things. It's just something simple that we can do, and something that I can say, okay, let me clean my house, because I got to do this for my eguns, I'm cleaning my vault, I'm cleaning my white table, I'm cleaning everything, and I just want to make sure that everything is clean. So I like to make sure that my energies are good in my house and that everything looks good. So what I do is I go in, and then that day I decide, okay, I'm going to do a little bit of sage. I do the sage before, but remember, you guys, it's important that you get in your closets. It's important that you get into your bathrooms. If you have closets, pantries, every single corner of your house has to be touched with this, okay? Because sometimes we want to clean everything. You don't want to do something half. If you are going to spend the money to bring somebody over into your home to do a spiritual mass, then you have to really be ready, be prepared, okay? Prepared in the way that if that person is coming and you're going to spend money bringing somebody into your home, you want to make sure that that person has all of the things that it needs for you to resolve the issue that you call the person for. And if you can do something to do that, then that is perfect. So doing all of these little steps is important to get them done. I also like to do the showers. The showers are important, you guys, because if you guys don't clean yourselves, okay, let's say that I have a dark spirit, okay, or something that I feel that is not my normal. And we all know that when your RD is aligned the correct way and you're okay, you feel okay. You don't feel nothing. But when you have something that is not one of your spirits, it's not one of your eguns telling you, I'm here, do this or do that. When your spirit is telling you something. But when you know there's something that is not normal, something that doesn't belong to you, something that, because something can attach to you by walking down the street. You can go to McDonald's and somebody can, a spirit can attach itself to you. That is, it happens. It doesn't necessarily have to be sent by anybody. It doesn't necessarily have to be, somebody that's doing witchcraft to you or voodoo, whatever you want to call it. It's not somebody doing any of that. Sometimes it's just because that they're spirits that just like your light. They like what you have. They like what you have worked so hard to have, which is everybody aligned, and your spirits and your eguns to have the light that they need, and they're all in order. You're the type of person that you have worked on that. to you, that is important. So there's other spirits that unfortunately are neglected. There are spirits that don't have that energy, that light that you have, and they see that you have it, and then they get near you. Now, sometimes those spirits don't come and they don't do anything to you. They just want to get a little bit of what you have, you know, and that's okay. It happens to everybody. It doesn't look, it's not a matter of, you know, that I'm the only one. No, it happens to everybody. But the way to handle that is simple. What do you need to do? You need to go ahead and take showers. Showers are important. If you're going to have a mass on Thursdays, which is the day that most people do showers, is you get your water. I put it in a bucket. I get a bucket. I put perfume. I put white flowers, white petals, any kind of flowers that you can get that are white. So you do that. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. I'm going to be doing English lives more here on YouTube and Centro de Estudios Lucumí so that we can get a little bit more answers. And I'm going to David. I don't want to say this again, but yeah, David's classes are in English also. They are live translated so that we can get answers to a lot of questions that we have been trying to find the answers to, and unfortunately we don't get them. So I'm trying to try to help as much as I possibly can, and give you guys my positive life experience and negatives too, because I've been through negative stuff too. I mean, I'm not perfect. So whatever I can, if I can help one person that's connected, I'm happy to do so. So the showers are really important. Now the showers should be simple. The showers should be simple. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate you. The showers are, I get a bucket, I get my white flowers, and I get the petals. Then I get perfume. Now, there's a lot of perfumes out there that people are using that are not the perfumes that you should be using, okay? Because it's not Chanel No. 5, it's not my favorite perfume, it's not, you know, any of that. We're doing a cleansing shower bath. This is what we're doing, a cleansing bath that you can always put that on after, but it's not something what we're using for. I love Florida water. To me, Florida water is amazing for showers, for baths, because of all of the what comes in, all of the preparation. Thank you, Timex. Blessings to you. So it is important that you also, Colonia 1-800, yes. Agua de Florida to me is the best. Florida water to me is the best, because there's a lot of knockoffs out there though, you guys. So you have to be careful in what you search for, because there's a lot of knockoffs and they smell like water. And after you pay $20 for that, I'm like, it doesn't smell. I know the original Florida water. I've been doing this for 20 years. So to me, I know which one is Florida water. And when I look at it and I smell it, and I'm like, but this smells watery, and it shouldn't. Tanisha, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. I'm glad that you have been learning with David. I'm trying to, John. I'm trying to. And then I have a lot of that at home. Yes, Precious, it's important for us as religious people, you guys, we should have, I'm going to make a list of to-dos for us, for religious people, that we should have at the house. And I'm going to post it on Facebook, and I'm going to post it here, and you guys can just go ahead and download it, and you guys can keep it, and I'll do a live and tell you guys that it's there, so you guys can go back and print it, and you guys can have it, what to do for a mass, and you know what you need to have in a spiritual house for anything, because you know what, we have to be prepared for anything. Honestly, it's not, you know, it's not that we can only do masses on Thursday. Something happens on a Friday, we're going to be working on Friday. Something happens on Sunday, we're going to be working on Sunday. This is a 24/7 religion. This is not, oh, we can only do this on one time. No, it doesn't work like that. Benjamin, you please can call the Botanica Orisha deck. You can go ahead and call them directly, and they will be more than happy to help you with whatever you need for the Botanica. And if you guys want anything with regards to what we have, what I'm talking about here, if you guys can't find it, you guys can call 832-295-3243, and they will be able to find it for you. That's not going to be a problem. And then we have to be ready for anything. We have, let's say, we finished with the mass. We prepared the showers. Let me finish with the showers. So once you do that, you take it and you put it in, you put all of your perfumes, you put all of your cacaria, you put your water, you put your flowers. I leave them for a couple of hours. So all of that, I break the flowers up and I make it a really nice juice. Okay. And then you put that together and I leave it there for at least a couple of hours before I take a shower. Because guys, let me tell you, once you do these kinds of showers, you feel so good once you do it. And you're like, oh my God, why did I wait so long to do this? It's like, why? Unfortunately, we always wait until stuff doesn't start going right for us to do little things that we can definitely avoid bigger things sometimes, because we don't do the little things. Because sometimes we really don't have time, and sometimes we're just like, oh my God, I don't have time. Or sometimes we're lazy. Let's be realistic, But then when everything starts to go wrong, then we're like, oh my God, I gotta move, I gotta do this, So that shower is an amazing shower for you to give yourself before. You should do at least 3. If you can do at least 3 before your spiritual mass, that is amazing. Why? Because you are just letting yourself be cleaned, and it's just a positive, beautiful thing that you feel after the fact. So if you guys are able to do this 3 days before you do your spiritual mass, you guys have achieved a lot. Because honestly, to me, once you have to start with yourself, because if you're working on a problem on energies that are going around your house, the biggest energies that we have in our house is ourselves. I have, of course, David, myself, the baby. I have people in my house that are there constantly. But the ones that I have to make sure that are on point and that are always correct, I have to have us on point. And what do we need? That's it. Sometimes a shower, you're going to take one and you're going to be like, oh my God, I got to do this more often. This feels so good. And you're going to sleep that night like an earthquake can happen and you're not going to feel it, because you're just going to rest and you're just going to be, it's going to be amazing. So, and you don't have to have OSHA crowns to do this kind of a bath. It's really simple. You go to the store and you just get yourself some white flowers. They don't have to be roses. They can be the cheapest white flowers that you can find, carnations, and put them on there and take a shower and do that. And if you can do that for 3 days, you're good. You're going to be good. That doesn't mean that your problem is going to be fixed, because apparently there's something that needs to be fixed, and it will be fixed. But you just need to make sure that you start out the right way. Gracias, Stefania. So that is really, really important that we do this, because if we don't start getting ourselves cleaned, we did an ebo for the house already. Okay, the coconut ebo is perfect. So you need to do that. Amazing. You already did the cleaning of the sage. You already did the cleaning of the incense, and you're good to go. You cleaned your white table. You make sure that your white table has a beautiful white tablecloth, that your flowers are on point, that your cups are cleaned totally and completely. Once you finish with your cups being cleaned and they're all on point, and your glass, you have your white candle, and everything is ready to go, you have nothing else to worry about. Okay, then you continue and you prepare yourself for your mass. Okay, now there's a lot of other steps that you have to prepare in your table for your mass, and those things are all in the book. But what you need to do is the most important thing. Once you get your spiritual vault ready, once you get your white table ready, once you get your bowl of your coconut, your shower, your sage, your cleaning, your incense on your house, then let's say you're ready to start your spiritual mass. But there's still a couple more steps that you have to prepare, because it's not just the table, it's not just the cups. Okay, now remember, you guys, this is all has to do with spirits. This all has to do with egun. Okay, and that's the part where we all have to make sure that we are all okay with egun. You have to make sure that not just your spiritual vault is lit. I like to lit my guardian angel when I do a spiritual mass, and I like to lit el agua. Always have, always will. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's just an extra little step. If you don't have them, don't worry about it. You continue to do what you need to do with the with your spiritual vault and your white table, which is what you need. Now, you guys, it's very, very important, okay, that you guys, that when you prepare, preparation to your house is extremely important, okay? Because this can mean, no, Johnny, that doesn't mean that necessarily. It's just picked up negative energy. I don't believe that that is the way to determine if there was a bad spirit in your house. For Facebook, Johnny's asking if the coconut in the inside is black, if that means that it picked up a bad spirit. I think it just picked up energy in the house, let's put it that way, and then that is the reason why it was like that. But usually coconuts, we have to make sure that we pick the correct ones, okay? Make sure that they are good, so that way you'll be able to see when the coconut breaks, you're going to be picking up whatever and negative energy there is from there. You guys, remember that your house, for you, for your spirits, for your orishas, for where you live, is your temple. Okay, that's how I like to refer to my house, as my temple. This is the house where everything that I love and adore is under that roof. Okay, so that is the important part that you guys all have to understand. And you guys have to take care of your, I take care of my orishas, I take care of my spirits, I take care of my house, I take care of everybody under it in an extreme way, because I want to make sure that everything is taken care of and that nothing is missing. I want to make sure that when somebody comes to my house, that everything is, addressed, that there's nothing missing, that I haven't missed a step. Because sometimes in the craziness of preparing yourself and you have 10 things going on, you forget, and it's like, I forgot this step. And then David is like, Mom, where's you forgot this? And I'm like, oh, I forgot, let me get it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little post of what needs to be done for the spiritual masses. And then, we can go ahead and post those on Facebook and you guys can go ahead and pick them up from there. The space where you're going to have the spiritual mass, it has to be the cleanest. It has to be, there can't be boxes laying around. There can't be, aparentemente los moderadores están fuera. So, vamos a poner a alguien en timeout en YouTube, porque necesita estar en timeout. Porque de verdad que hay personas que no dejan hacer nada. Okay, let me get back to my English now. I had to put somebody on timeout because they were being a little disrespectful with comments that were kind of stupid, so we don't like that. So just make sure that whenever you guys are going to do, wherever you're going to put your white table, make sure that that place is clean, that place doesn't have stuff laying around. They try to make it as okay. Sometimes we don't have a lot of spaces in our house, and sometimes we have, flowers, we have stuff to decorate the house and stuff. But when you're gonna do a spiritual mass, try to keep that space as clean as you can. Try to keep in that space only what you're going to be using for your spiritual mass and nothing else, because you're going to be bringing people over, and sometimes you don't know if that's person, if they're going to come and they're going to mount a spirit, an egun that's going to come through them, and that person, the way that they interact is totally different than somebody that you may have seen in the past. Some people, when they mount a spirit, they're like, oh my God, they jump, they scream, they do a whole bunch of stuff with their bodies, and you have to be prepared for that. You have to be prepared that you have enough room, for them to be able to work. Because if you did bring them to do something for you, then they have to be, comfortable for them to be able to do that. And at the same time, they have to be able to work, and they have to have the space, and they have to have all of the essentials. One of the things that you need to ask whenever you're going to bring someone over to do a spiritual mass for you at your house, you need to ask them, what do you want for me to have waiting for you at my house? A lot of people ask for herbs. A lot of people, they ask for a bunch of herbs that they can work with. No se preocupe, Jennifer. Muchas bendiciones. Thank you, Jennifer. So that is what happens. What happens is If you have somebody that you're bringing and that you've never worked with in the past, you can tell them, is there anything in particular that you or your spirit want, so that I can go ahead and have them ready? And then if the person's spirit comes through, then that person is going to have, that spirit is going to have whatever that spirit usually works with. Whenever David does a mass, a spiritual mass somewhere, I always take everything that Weso uses, from the candles all the way to the jicara where he drinks his malafo. So I always take everything, because some people might have everything, but I'd rather be safe and make sure that I bring everything that he needs. So there's nothing that's going to be stopped, and then we're going to be like, oh my God, we didn't bring this. You don't have this, because, you know, it is what Weso uses, and then it's so that it can all go smoothly. How many glasses do you use in your table? I use 9. I use 9, but there was a point in time when I used 7. But within that time frame, when I was using 7, I was told to go ahead and start using 9, and then I added those extra cups to my white table. There is no wrong number to use, whether it's a 7 or a 9. Okay, a lot of people work with 7 and it works perfectly fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, and some people are like, oh my God, 9 is the one. Not necessarily. Some people will work with 7, they will start with 7, and they will be kept at 7, and that's what they want. And that's what they need, because that is what their spirit works with. 7 is perfect. Okay, and then when it's time for you to move on, if there is a time that you need to move on to 9, you will do so. Some people start at a 9, period. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, you guys. Just because you have 7 doesn't mean that your spirits work any less than the person that has 9. That one thing does not have anything to do with the other. Okay. Bendiciones, Larissa. So, you know, Larissa, in English, we're doing a live in English, so you're going to have to communicate with me in English right here, okay? In both, in Centro de Estudios Lukumi and in Facebook. So, okay. What if you only have space for one big cup? This is important that you guys, that we talk about where we put the spiritual white table, the vault, and how many cups it has. Okay, because I understand that sometimes we fall in places, and we just don't have the space. I understand that, but sometimes we don't need big cups. We don't need big cups, you guys. Sometimes we see I see people that have an 8x10 table. At my house, if you guys see my vault, oh my God, we have a lot of stuff, because I have a lot of statues that I use to represent some of my spirits, and I do the same thing for the baby, and I do the same thing for David, because we have been able to travel, and I have picked up things that I have been wanting for my spiritual table, and that I have not found it. So when I see it, I buy it and I put it there. You don't have to have big cups. You don't have to have a huge big cup. You can have a small cup like this, okay? And you can put that in a small little table, and you can just put it there. You know, it's not the size of your cups does not determine the amount of spirituality that you're going to have. Okay, it does not mean that because you have bigger cups, your spirits have more light than any other. It doesn't matter, you guys. It doesn't really matter the size of your cups. It depends on how you take care of them. It depends if you keep them clean. It depends if you have their beautiful, their white candle. If you have your cup clean at all times, those are the things that matter. If there's a way for you to be able to have, Raul, some things are very small like this. I don't recommend those tiny little things like this. But there are little cups that are like this tiny. And you can get 6 and put one in the middle and have a 7. Honestly, it's not, you don't need something this big. You don't need your cups to be this big at all. Okay. Raul, I would have to, I'm trying to think which ones are the ones that you're talking about. But I mean, like 4 ounces, 5 ounces of water is okay. They're tiny little, you don't have to have, something huge. Just as long as you're able to put 7 in a table, in a small table. We don't need to have something huge for that. So if you can, try to do that. Find a little spot in your house somewhere, and even in a counter in the kitchen, if you can put it on the corner. And that's basically what it is. You don't have to have so many, you don't have to have huge spaces to be able to put all of this stuff together. And sometimes if you don't have the space to put in, a huge vase of flowers, you can just put a couple. You don't necessarily have to do that many. Exactly, Raul. Yes, you can use those. As long as you can put water in them and they hold your water, and you can put them together and you can start with 7. Josh, we just finished doing a Mother's Day sale. We're going to be doing a Father's Day sale within the next week or so. So keep tabs on the website. On Centro de Estudios Locumi, we're going to be posting it. So that's the importance, you guys. It's not a matter of how big, it's just how it is that you're taking care of your spiritual table. Because let's say you have huge cups, you have beautiful cups, you have, oh my God, you have your 9 cups and all of that, and you did the process that you need to do to make sure that they are the way that they used to be, and you're doing all of that. But yet you are the type of person that lets your water go down half, or your cup goes totally dried because you don't take care of your spiritual vault or your table. You don't take care of your white table, and then what happens? You're like, oh my God, I don't have time, I'm too busy. What do you do? Then what do you think that would matter? That it matters that you have this big cups, but yet your cups are dirty, your cups are, the water is not up to their level, they have those rings that go around it, and it's just not the way that you should. Then that makes a big difference, you guys. It makes a big difference, okay? And that's the part. You need the English version of Spiritism is right here. Look, I have the book right here in my hand, Josh. It's going to go on sale in a week. We're going to put a special for Father's Day. So that's the part that you guys have to understand. We have to make sure that everything that we use for religious purposes, it has to be clean, you guys. We have to make sure that we take care of it. They warn me when something negative is about to happen. Ache. Thank you, precious. That is the reason why, honestly, if we have a white table and we have our spirits are aligned and our Ori is aligned, which is very important to have that aligned. And if we are okay with that, it's important that you have to just go ahead and follow what your instincts are telling you and what your eguns are telling you. Remember, there's a lot of ways to communicate with your spirits. You have to learn what is the best way for you to communicate with your spirits. And it's not necessarily doing a spiritual mass every week. No, Josh, we're not going to do a 50% sale. So you have to learn that. That is one of the things that you guys have to understand. Not everybody was born to have a spirit pass through their body, okay? An egun does not necessarily have to pass through you for you to be a good spiritual person. All right. And if you guys really want to learn about this, honestly, the best is the School of Spiritism that David has going on at www.davidalagayu.com. That is the Spiritism class, and they're in English, you guys. You guys can learn the importance, because honestly, everything that we do, everything that we work in our religion, it has to do with egun, it has to do with spirits, it has to do with our ancestors, it has to do with all of that, you guys. And that's the part that we all have to work with, okay? And that's the part that's important. If we don't work with those spirits that guide us, that direct us, and like Precious said, they warn you when something is going to happen. Yes, we do get warned when things are going to happen. We don't warn about everything that's going to happen because sometimes we don't understand the message. But if you don't understand the messages that your spirits are putting into your mind, into your ear, and in your dreams, and you're not understanding, then that's when you need to go into that school. That way, you guys can try to understand what and how to work with your spirits. And that's the part that matters, you guys. Irene, if someone is called to be a medium, but they don't follow the path, will their life be messed up? I don't want to say that their life is going to be messed up, but I do believe that everybody's born with a path and that they have to follow. And if you have such a beautiful gift, because not everybody, you see, this is the thing, that everybody wants what they cannot have. And people that do have it, they don't want it. And then the ones that don't have it want it. It is important to follow that, because then having that spiritual connection, to me, is amazing. And once you have it, it's like, wow. To me, it's like, that's amazing that you're able to have that connection, because not everybody has it. You have to follow that path, because they will make things happen. They will make things happen for you, whether they're bad, because you're not following what they want for you to do. But egun is never going to guide you into the wrong directions to have an accident and kill yourself. It's not going to guide you into a wrong anything. If anything, it's going to make you, if you're going to do something, okay? Let's say you're going to buy a house. You're looking for a house, and you've seen 5 houses, and you want to buy one of them, and egun is going to tell you, this is the one that's going to be an idea for you, because this is the one that you need. This is the one that's going to work for you, and this is the one that's going to bring you what you need. Now, you like the one that egun is like, no, don't go there, because it's not going to work out for you, but that's the one that you liked. And then you have the choice of saying, okay, egun, thank you so much for telling me this is the one that I'm going to have. Being a religious person myself, if egun tells me that's the one for you, that's the one I'm going to buy. So egun is only going to guide you in the right way. If you don't follow that path that egun is going to tell you, then things will go wrong, because they're going to be like, I am guiding you in the right way. You don't want me to guide you, then you know what? You're alone. Whatever happens to you, happens to you. You know, because honestly, it's just that egun is never going to, I don't believe that your spirits are never going to guide you in the wrong direction. I don't believe that egun can, your own, I don't think that it will ever lead you into your own direction. Now, what is going to lead you into the wrong direction is your decisions that you make, and whatever you want to do, and whatever you think that is important to you, and whatever you want to do, and you don't listen to egun, and then you're gonna put the blame on egun, because egun is telling you, don't go right, keep going straight, and you go right, and you have an accident, and then that's your problem. That wasn't egun telling you not to go right. Your egun told you to go straight, and you made it right because you wanted to, because it was a shorter cut. Okay, well, there you go. That's what happens. So it is a big difference that we have to all understand, the difference and the importance of egun for everybody. It's not just for my religion. Okay, everybody has spirits that they're born with. Everybody has eguns that they have, and that they have to, work with them one way or the other, you guys. And depending on how much you give to those spirits, that is how much you're going to get back. And honestly, if I have somebody that's telling me, hey, Reina, don't leave at 4:00, leave at 4:15. Okay, I'm not gonna question you, because if you're smart and you know that what the spiritual world is, you're gonna be like, oh, no problem, I'm gonna sit here until it's 4:15. But no one was there. Johnny, someone wanted to offer me reading out of nowhere and started requesting money and never contacted me ever. Really hard, like someone bumped into my car. So it was a signal not to. Sometimes we do have, the spirits have very different ways of communicating with everybody, you guys. You guys have to just learn how it is that they're going to. Yes, there are people that are born, and when they have a certain age, the spirit comes through and they have an open mind to see and read everything. Yes, it happens. That is true. But not everybody has that. And it all depends on how you use it, and it all depends on how good it's going to work for you. So if you don't want to pass a spirit through you, because mind you, that also takes a toll on the person. It's like you're being hit with a truck when you're done with the ceremonies, and it's energies that are coming into your body, and it's a lot of things. you guys, that you have to be prepared for. And a lot of people are not prepared for it. And I'm like, oh my God, yes, I want to pass my egun, and I want to be able for him or she to come through me, and I want them to come and talk, and I want to be able to do everything with my egun, and I want them to come down whenever I want, and all of that. And that's just not how it works. And unfortunately, some people are like, oh my God, no, I don't have egun because I don't pass them. You don't have to pass egun for your egun to tell you what you need to know that it's in here. That sometimes we think, oh my God, I'm going crazy. You know, I'm going crazy because I don't know what's going on. I'm like, it's not that you're going crazy. Okay, can we push the door? It's not that you're going crazy. It's just that I have, I'll be right back, Precious. The one thing that you guys need to understand is, says Josh, it's like a movie, like Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg. That's the best way to explain it. That is one of the best ways to explain it. Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Anything that I can help you with?
Yes. Do you have a tarot card?
Yes, I do. The Spanish ones? The Spanish ones? They're over here on the side.
No, no las como la. Yo sabía que estaba este lugar ahí, vivo aquí cerquita. No, el carro, mira, mi muñequito.
Dime, niña.
¿En serio?
Ayudar aquí. Si te ven una directa, sáltale.
¿Cómo se mira por dentro?
Honestamente, le dice porque no me caiga.
Yo quería ver la placa.
No, ayúdame, por favor. Ella está buscando carta.
Es que no se pueden abrir.
Discúlpenme, perdónenme. Entonces, it's important, you guys. It is something like that. You just have to make sure that you have that connection, you guys, and you have to know, because sometimes, you know how we have the little devil and the little angel on our thing, and then you're thinking something and you're like, is that really what it is? Is it me thinking this? Because it happens to me. It's like, is this what I'm thinking, or is this my egun telling me what I'm doing here? You know, it's like, what do you do? But that's the part that you guys need to have that connection, you guys. And it's important. And this is not going to be, this is just part one of all of this. I'm going to continue tomorrow. I'm going to connect myself again around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm going to continue to talk about this, because this is just first parts of this. Okay. Thank you. We appreciate you very much, you guys. And there are going to be English lives almost every day, because I'm going to be able to be here doing lives. I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot of things that I want to do. I want to talk to you guys about in English. So definitely, if you guys know people, send them this way so that we can go ahead and try to help out and try to open their minds, and so that they can get a level of understanding of what it is for us, the white table, the spiritual vault, as you call it, anything that has to do with egun, we are definitely going, okay? And this is only part one of preparation of our house and ourselves for a spiritual mass, okay? Many blessings. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for giving me your time. Blessings. I'll see you guys tomorrow.